Hey guys, Willie James here from Dream House Music, and in today's video we're going to take a look at nice gospel chords in F major. We're going to be applying a simple worship song above all in F. I'm going to take it from a basic approach, a beginner's approach, and then show you how I enhance the chords using three simple methods. So stick around, you'll enjoy it. On top of that, if you are interested in learning more about how to play gospel music from a beginner's perspective, then click the link below, check out the resources there, and also remember to like, share, and subscribe so that we can share the love to the rest of the community, so we could grow people's ministry in music. All right, so let's jump into it. So we're in the key of F, right? So you got to know your foundation, and the foundation, just like the foundation of a house, is the scale. All right, everything is built from the scale. Okay, so if we're in the key of F, then we got to know the F major scale. All right, all the chords, all the melodies, all the nice licks, all the big nice chords, right? All those nice things come from knowing your scales inside and out. All right, so let's pull up the scale. All right, I'm pulling up my diatonic chords playbook. It basically has all the basic chords, and I also give some nice gospel alternative chords that you could use as a cheat sheet. If you want to get access to that, click the link below, download my PDF, and grab the quick start course. Okay, very valuable resource. I have all these chords in all 12 keys, so if you need to see what your basic diatonic chords are, or you want to know what seventh chords are, it's all there in all 12 keys, and you could have fun with that. All right, so I'm gonna go to the F section here, so F chords, and I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so the F major scale, right? Know it inside out. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. But in gospel, all right, I encourage you learn the number system. All it is you're applying a number, a numerical value to each note in the scale, and it's simple. It's just an ascending order. So F is 1, G is 2, A is 3, B flat is 4, as you could see here, C is 5, D is 6, E is 7, and F is 1. Okay. All right, know your scales, know it inside and out. So if someone says, hey, in this worship song, go to the 2, oh, what's 2? G. Boom. Hey, the band leader says, go to the 6. That's D. Or the choir director says, hey, take it from the top, go to the 1. That's F. All right, that's what I mean by using the number system. Okay, and then after the number system, you want to apply your diatonic chords. If you don't know what diatonic chords are, it's simple. Okay, it's the basic chords that are built from the notes in the scale. All right, and chords are built in they're built in thirds, right? So what I mean by thirds, so what's the first diatonic chord? Well, it will be built on F, and it's FAC. So how do I know how to play FAC? At a basic level, just think of it this way: chords are built in thirds. So if you start from F, you count up the scale in threes. So starting from F, 1, 2, 3 lands me on A, so I have FA. And if I want the next note in the chord, I just count up 3 from A in the scale, not any random notes, in the scale from F, A, B flat, C, right? A, B flat, C. So the 1 chord is FAC in the key of F major. All right, the 2 chord will be G minor. Okay, minor has a different quality from major chords. If you're not sure how to build the minor chord on the 2, there's 2 ways. One, you could just take the scale and count up in threes. So G, A, B flat, right? Count in threes, and then count in 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And when you do that, you end up with a minor chord. Okay, automatically, if you count up in threes, you're gonna get a minor chord when you count from the second. When you build your basic chord in threes, you're gonna get a minor chord. When you go to the 3, which is A, if you do the same thing, you're automatically gonna get a minor chord again. right? So count from A. 1, 2, 3, A, C, and then from C, C, D, E. Boom, I have A minor. So that's the diatonic chord built on the 3, which is A, and so forth and so forth, right? Then you have B flat. If you do it from B flat, you're gonna get a major chord. All right, so the 4 chord in any scale, right, is gonna be major, right? If you count from B flat, right, B flat, C, D, right? So B flat, 1, 2, 3 is D. Remember, we're counting up the scale, all right? That's how you know what notes to use. And it's called diatonic because the notes in the chord are from the scale, all right? So hopefully you understand that. It's very important to understand that. And once you do, I mean, building chords become easy. You're just counting in 3s, literally. All right, so 1, 2, 3 gives me F. So that's why the 4 chord is major. Okay, the 5 chord, put on C, counting 3s, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, I'm counting up the scale. So I'm not counting these black notes in the middle, random notes. I'm using the notes from the scale. Okay. If you count from the 6, which is D, and you count in 3s up the scale, you get D, E, F. All right. If we go here, F, G, A to start over. D minor. And then if you count in 3s from the 7, which is E, counting up the scale, E, F, then we start over at G, and then G, A, B flat, counting in 3s. It will always be diminished. So no matter what key you go to, if you count in 3s up the scale from any note in the scale, you'll get this pattern. The 1 chord is major, the 2 will always be minor, the 3 will always be minor, the 4 chord will always be major, the 5 chord will be major, the 6 chord will be minor, and the 7th will always be diminished. All right, that's the pattern of all major scales. So it's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. All right, that's the pattern of diatonic chords when you're playing them in scale form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, in this case, F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E diminished, and F major. You're saying, oh, I don't know all of those in all keys. Well, that's why you want to grab this diatonic chords playbook. Again, click the link in the description to get access. I have them all printed out here for you. So just to make your life a little bit easier, you have G flat, you have G, all the way from C to B. Okay, let's go back to F though. All right, and I think I want to talk about before we get into the song, ways how to make the chords nice. All right, so we're gonna use the major chord, and I'm gonna talk about how I extend my chords and make them nice, and not just the basic diatonic ones that I just talked about. Okay, so the first thing is, what I do is what I call, we'll play it down here. Yeah, we could play it down here for now. It's the principle of stacking. All right, so just remember that stacking. What is stacking? It's just repeating the notes. Very simple. So if I have F, A, C, that's my 1 chord, as you can see here, F major. You could simply repeat the note. So no, we'll repeat the notes in the left hand first. So what I do, I take the 1, put it in my left hand here, play with my pinky, and I repeat the 5. Right? Remember, we're using the number system. The F is the 1 and C is the 5. All right, let me minimize my page here so I can see the scale. You can see the scale there. All right, so F is 1, C is 5. All right, and then the A is 3. I just repeat the F, which is 1, and the 5 in my left hand like that. All right, simple way to make your chord big. So if you're new, easy way. All right, I could stack some more. Remember, stack is repeating. So what can I do? Well, I could repeat this F here and put it up here. Now you got to use more fingers. The bigger the chord, the more you have to stretch your hand. Okay. So stacking is just repeating. I've used these 3 notes and I've just made a bigger chord using both hands. Now, if you're new, this might take some work. You might need to practice to strengthen your fingers, but over time it will come to you. Okay. All right, I could stack a different way too. right? Let me move this chord an octave higher. That gives me more room down here. So I could play this low F here, which is the 1. I could play the 5, which is the C, and I could repeat the F here. Right? Instant bigger chord. All right? What else can we do? Well, we could also do inversions. Inversions is a little bit different from stacking. So instead of repeating the notes, you are rearranging the order of the notes. That's all an inversion is. You're rearranging the order. So the basic order is in thirds, 1 2 3 1 2 3 from the bass note, the root note. But you can invert this chord by taking the bottom note, putting it on top. Okay, so in FAC, the other version is I put the F up here, so it becomes ACF. That's called first inversion. Classical terms: root inversion, first inversion. If I want to do a next inversion, I take this bottom A, put it on top again, and then I have this CFA. Okay, does that make sense? Same chord, hasn't changed, just the arrangement of the notes. That's what an inversion is. You're rearranging the order of the notes. Okay, so you could practice these inversions like so. You can do it with your left hand as well. Okay, if you need to get that, you could pause and rewind the video or slow down the video if you need to get that. Okay, so very easy way to change up the chords, right? So if I keep the 1 and the 5 in my left hand, you know, just by using inversions, I have different versions of the chord, right? So I could do this, I could do this, right? I can appreciate, right? I could also combine chord stacking, which is repeating the notes, and inversions. So let's say I have the basic diatonic chord on the 1, which is F major, FAC. I could stack, which means repeating the bottom note, and then I could change the arrangement of the notes however I want, right? So if I invert this chord and stack, I'll get this. So here's the original. We could call this an inversion, right? Root, first inversion, stack. Here's a second inversion, and I could stack it as well. So it'd be like this. Okay, at a basic level. So if I kept my left hand the same with the 1 and the 5, which is F and C, I have, you know, a library of chords that I've built just by using stacking and inversions. All right, and this will help you, you know, from just playing, you know, the chord in just regular versions when you're playing your songs, right? You're not just stuck in that basic root inversion position, because you need to be able to play the melody, and sometimes when a chord is in its root inversion, it's not accommodating the melody. So you need to know inversions and stacking. I'm gonna apply it to a song in a bit just to show how this applies. So we'll get that into a moment. I just want to go over the last way, the third way, which is chord extensions. So we talked about chord stacking, which is repeating the notes, the basic 3-note diatonic chords like FAC, repeating the notes, stacking. Then we talk about inverting the chord. That's the way number 2. So rearranging. Now chord extensions is adding different notes. So hopefully that's clear what I mean. Well, the first way, and it's in the diatonic chords playbook here. Again, click the link below to get access to this. Is what's called 7th notes. Okay, and we'll explain 7th notes if you haven't heard the term already or you're not sure. Basically, 7th notes are 4-note chords. And how do you build them? It's the building in 3s that I talked about earlier. So you know what, let me zoom in. All right, so the regular diatonic, as you can see here, is FAC, right, which is built in thirds, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, if I want to build a 7th chord, All right, don't get confused. The seventh chord is 4 notes. I'll explain the 7 in a bit. You could do the 1, 2, 3 again from C. C, D, E. So you get F, A, C, E. That's called a chord extension. I've added this 4th note, which is E. That's a chord extension. And the quality, they call it a major 7th. Why? Well, the easiest way for me to understand it, it's all about distance, right? So the 7th comes from the fact that E is 7 steps from F, right? If you count up the scale, right, just counting up from F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the distance is 7. So you got to be able to visualize distance in your chords. E is 7 steps from F in the F major scale. I'm not counting these random black notes. I'm counting the notes in the scale. That's why it's important to know your scale inside and out. All right, so I wouldn't be counting C sharp and A flat or G sharp. No, just the notes in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why you have F major 7. So the E is a major 7th. Okay. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. 7 steps away. And it's also, E is also in the F major scale. Okay. So, you know, you have your basic chord, whatever song you're playing. You could sometimes add a 7th depending on, you know, the sound you're looking for or the melody of the song. Sometimes it works, sometimes 7th notes don't. Okay, so we can also extend even further. Okay, I don't have it here in the chart, but we can do what's called 9th chords. So if we have F, A, C, E, if I count up 3 from E again in the scale, we get E, F, G. 1, 2, 3 lands us on G. This is called a 9 chord, and you guessed it, it's F major 9 or F major 7, 9 because G is 9 steps from F. Counting up the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The distance between this G and F is 9 steps, so that's why they call it an F major 9. And when you play a F major 9, the major 7th is implied. Okay, it's implied that the E is there. Or you could leave it out, depending on the sound you want. Okay, so I could leave it out and play this. It's still an F major 9, or they'll say F add 9. One important note, a 9 is the same as a 2. So my software, if I do this, my software will say, well, let's say I play the F major chord and I add the 2. My software will say add 2, right? It's F to G is 2, 1, 2, right? But if I play the G that's higher, it's an F9, right? But it's the same note. So F major 9 and F add 2, right? F major 9 and F add 2 is really the same. Okay, it just depends on whether you place it right beside or higher, right? If I play more chords, then it says add 9. Yep. Right, so hopefully that's clear. That's chord extensions. So with these 9th chords, well, here's a 7th chord. Sounds nice. What if I play the 9th chord? Okay, so what I did there, I just took the F and the C, put it down here. That's what I did. So F major 9. I took the 1 and the 5, put it down here. Right? I get this, well, we'll keep the C here. I get this nice R&B-ish chord. Okay. You can add more notes, but as a beginner, especially with gospel, learning up to the 9th chords as a beginner, early beginner, or mid beginner is all you need starting out. Okay, so you have these beautiful chords that you could create. Now, when you have these 9 chords, though, these bigger chords, you can apply the principle of stacking and inversions as well. Right? So what do I mean? Well, I can stack or repeat the E down here in my left hand. So I'm playing F, C, E, or the 1, the 5, and the 7. Nice, thick, lush chord. Or instead of playing the E, I could have repeated the G here. So I stretch with my left hand. See how I have this nice lush chord now? So where did I start from? This basic diatonic chord. That's why you gotta know your scales and your diatonic chord. Cause now I know, oh, I could build a 7, just count up 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, if I want to build a 9, just count up 3. 1, 2, 3. F major 9. Oh, if I want to build this chord even bigger, I can use stacking. Let me stack the F and the C in the bottom. That's what I usually do. You could stack how you want. It's about the sound you're looking for. But as well, in the left hand though, you don't want to stack like this, right? F, G, A, C or F, A, C. It's muddy. In the left hand, you usually want to create space. In your left hand, anything lower than like middle C, right? Create space. Okay, so I wouldn't do the FAC, right? Create some space, leave that A out. But you can experiment and explore with different sounds just by using stacking. And when you stack, you just got to use more fingers. Okay. Now, if you're a beginner, this might be challenging, but you know, practice. You know, one note at a time, getting your fingers to obey your commands. Right? You can just arpeggiate like this. Right? Go back down as a finger exercise, or you could just pulse to strengthen your fingers. Alright, so we talked about stacking. We could also do inversions. So we have this chord here. Remember, this is it in basic position in thirds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I took the 1 and the 5, I put it down here. That's why I have A, C, E, G. I can use inversions with this. A, C, E, G. I could put the A up here. So that'll give me this. I can invert again like this. Or like this. Or like this. Right? I can even space out even more. I could play. You need to visualize this, right? F, A, C, E, G. I could do an open chord like this. I'll do the 5, the 7, and the 5. Remember, C is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E is 7. 6, 7. Right? Look how I'm spacing my chord. I could keep my big, nice F, or the 1, the 5, and the 2. Like so. That's still a F major 7. Well, it's software saying a sus2. Same thing. Add 2, sus2. It's just adding the 2, which is G. Or I can even repeat the A here. Right? Okay, let's jump right in. All right. So the song Above All in F, if you know the chord progressions, or I'll tell you them. The first chord is a 4 chord. Oh, what's 4? If I look at my diatonic, okay, B flat, D, F. Okay, what do I play my left hand? Well, stacking. Let's do the 1 and the 5. Now, don't get confused. So whenever you're playing a new chord, the 1 is the base of the chord, okay? Even though we're in the key of F. Right? So when I say 1 and 5, I mean the B flat and the F. 1 and the 5. Right? Because we're in the context of B flat. So if we're in even though we're in F, we're playing the B flat chord. In this moment, B flat is 1, not F. Okay, so 1 and the 5, B flat, F. Above all powers. Next chord is this chord. It's a B flat over C. Right? So my software is saying this is fancy C9 sus4, but all it is a slash chord, okay? It's a B flat in your right hand over the bass note, single note C. Just play what's comfortable. I'm using my thumb. Above all, and then it goes kings, which is the 1 chord. All right. So above all powers, basic B flat. Above all, okay, that's called a 4 over 5 because the 4 chord is the B flat and the diatonic chord. The diatonic chord is on the 4 is B flat, and the single bass note is 5. That's called a slash chord. Above all kings. Okay, what is this? This is F major right? In first inversion, right? Take the bass, put on top, boom. So above all powers, above all kings, right? And this repeats, above all nature and all created things. Okay, so it just repeats, right? And above all wisdom, right? Above all wisdom is the 6. Okay, above all wisdom. We'll play like this. All right, what is that? Well, it's the diatonic 6. It's just D, F, A, right? But I played it in second inversion. So first inversion, second inversion, and I kept the 1 and the 5 in the bottom. Okay, remember, every chord that you're playing, the root note becomes the 1. So you're counting in context of the root note of the chord. So the D is now the 1. So when I say 1 and the 5, I mean D and A, right? A is 5 steps away from D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So like this. And then I inverted it like so. Above all wisdom and all. Right? It's the 5 chord. That's a C major. Alright? It's basically diatonic if you look. C, E, G. Whoops. C, E, G. In all the ways of. Right? That's the melody. In all the ways of. Right? That's that chord. What is that? It's C major in second inversion. All the ways of man. Back to the 4. And then it goes to man. Right? What is that? Ooh, we know that. That's the F major stacked with the F over the 3. In gospel, you have this a lot. Slash chords. So that's the 1 over the 3. Right? You were there. That's a 2. What's a 2? If I don't know, oh, it's a G minor. G, B flat D. Repeating the 1 and the 5. That's my favorite way to play left hand chords. Just take from the right. Play the top and the bottom. You were there before the world began. Now I have a special chord here. It's really a 6 chord, but it's not diatonic. Why? Well, why is it saying G flat? It's supposed to say F sharp. It's a D major chord, but I like to turn it into a slash chord. Okay. Now this is not diatonic because D, F sharp, A, right? F sharp is not in the F major scale. So if you see the scale, nope, there is no F sharp there. So this is out of key. This is a D major chord. Right, but I'm going to change it a bit. I'm going to put the 3 on the bottom like so. Just like that. So, you were there. That's the 2 before the world began. Ooh, very nice open chord. That's called a drop 2, by the way. You take the major chord, the second note, you drop it an octave higher. That's called a drop 2. It opens up the chord. So, you were there before the world began. So, it's a 6 major, but I've changed the bass. Why do I say 6 major? Well, the 6 diatonic is D, F, A, because F is in the major scale. But the quality of the chord in the song, the writer wrote the song in a way that it has to be F sharp. So I have to change that natural diatonic chord a bit. So I change it to a major. This should be saying F sharp, G flat, same thing. Alright, and just do it like so. Alright, let me play it through. Above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things. And then we'll go to the 6. Above all wisdom and all the ways of man. Here's the 2. You were here before the world began. Okay, chorus. Crucified. Just 1. Alright, inverted. Crucified. Oh, what's this? The 2 chord. Oh, it's G minor. G, B flat D. Crucified. What did I do? I added a 7th. Remember we talked about 7th. G minor. Even if you look at the G minor 7th here on the diatonic chord. G, B flat D, F if you weren't sure. just counting in threes up the scale. Okay, let's put the scale in frame here. Right? Yeah. So G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Gives me G minor 7th again. F is 7 steps away from G, going up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, G minor 7th, as you can see here. I put it in the chart. Right? Crucified, G minor 7th. Laid behind. Okay, what is that? Hey, it's a 5 chord, but put in slash form. What does that mean? I took the 5 chord. If I look at my diatonic, oh, it's C, E, G, but I rearrange it this way, or let me make it easier for you. It's in second inversion, like so. C over E, right? I put the 3rd on the bottom and inverted, and then stack the C here. Crucified, laid behind the throne. You live to die, rejected and alone. Lone. We could do like, right? There's that C over E slash chord again. Like the rose, right? Planted on, what is that? That's a 1 over 5, right? Why is this a 1? Well, it's just the F major inverted. 1 over 5. Planted on the ground. 4 chord. What is this? Oh, this is a 1 over 3. F over A. Planted on the ground. You took the fall. Right? There's that 2 chord. Right? There's that F over A and thought of me. Here's a special chord though. Non-diatonic. So we're gonna go to a B. What is that? This is called a B minor 7 flat 5. Okay. So if we want to simplify that big fancy name B minor 7 flat 5, basically you take the 6 diatonic, which is DFA. The bass note in the chord is B, which is not diatonic because in F major scale there's a B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. But according to the movement of the song, it is a what's called a sharp 4 or a flat 5. C is 5, but it's flat. It's a semitone lower, so it's a B. So this fancy name you see on my software, B minor 7 flat 5, it's simply a 6 diatonic chord over the flat 5, right? You took the fall and thought of me. Very nice chord, right? I took the 6 chord and I put the A down here. Thought of me. Then to our 4 over 5 chord, above all. Okay. All right. So, let me add some nicer chords to this, and just to see how we can make it a little bit nicer. So, above all powers, right? I could do an add 2 on the 4. This is a regular 4. Major chords, I just do an add 2. What is that? Count up 2 from the root. 1, 2. Automatically thickens the chord. Right? And then over the 4 over 5, I do the add 2 as well. Simple changes, but it makes the chord nicer. So above all powers, above all kings. Right? Now here's what I like to do with major chords. I like to do add 2 as well. Think major. You want to automatically make a major chord nice? Do the add 2 or the add 9. Right? So if you take the F, do the add 2, and then I invert it, put the F on top, I get this nice big open chord. You could pause the video if you need to. Take a look at that. It's just a 1 chord with the add 2, and then it's inverted. Right? So like so, and then the 1 and the 5 in the bottom. Right? Above all powers, above all kings. Right? You could do some melodic patterns. Right? Above all. Now this chord is my favorite. This is a 1/3. In gospel, 1/3 usually goes to a 4. Okay, one chord, one diatonic chord over the bass note, which is A on the 3. It's called a 1/3. You could do the add 2 and invert as well. So you get this nice thick sound. Above all nature and all created things. Oh, what is that? That's a C, a slash chord. So a 5/7. Why? C, E, G is the 5 chord. I put the E on the bottom. In the F major scale, E is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a 5 chord over the 7. Right? And it's leading me to the 6. 7 is going to the 6. Above all wisdom. Right? What can we do with minor chords? You could do the add 2. Adds a tension. There's that D minor, add 2. There's a tension between the E and the F there. So you could, there's a nice move I like to do. I like to do this. I'm just splitting up the chord. It's a D minor diatonic. Add 2. Just count up 2 from the bass. 1, 2. Makes it thicker. Boom. I could take off the D. Take this D off. Boom. I get this. Alright? Alright? Above all wisdom and all. That's the F. 1/5 ways of man. Another thing I like to do with major chords is the 6. So we talked about doing the add 2. You can do a 6 too. So let's break this down. What's a 6? Well, if I count up 6 from B flat in the scale, in the F scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we get that G. What's the diatonic B4 chord? It's this. Right? But let's change this up. Where were we? Sorry, I forgot. There's all the ways of man. We could do this, man. Ooh, what is that? That's a B flat 6 with a 2. Okay, why is this a 6/2? It says 6/2. Well, G is 6 steps from B flat, and C is also a 2 from B flat, right? 1, 2. It's just an octave higher, this C. So we got the 6. We're in the context of B flat. Remember, every chord, with every chord, the root becomes the 1. So your context is the root of the note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in the key of F. So all our notes, all our counting is up the F scale. Only notes in the F scale. Okay, so we're counting from B flat in the F scale. If you look at the F scale, if we count from B flat is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're counting distance. G is a 6. C is 9 steps away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 9. And then there's the 5. Remember, diatonic is this. The basic, right? But we're doing that 6, 9 for color. And I could stack the F here. Ooh, nice. Above all, I lost my spot. Above all wisdom and all the ways of man. Ooh, it just fell nicely into the 3. There's that 1 add 2 or add 9/3. Da 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 da. Forgot the words. There's that nice chord. Alright, it's a D major chord. D, F sharp, A. Drop the F sharp. I can do the add 2. Remember, major chords, to make them nice, do the add 2. Boom, boom. So you get that nice chord like this. And then, crucified, laid behind the stone, live to die. Ooh, look at that. Right? What is that? I like to explain. Well, it's a G flat minor 9. Alright? Remember we talked about 9 chords? So if we're looking at the scale, how do you build a 9 chord on a minor diatonic chord? Remember the 2 chord, we're on the 2, G minor, G, B flat, D. All we did is count up in 3s. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just all these notes are in the F major scale, so I just counted up in 3, but then I used inversions and stacking to make it nice. So what I did is I took this chord and I kind of did an add 2. So the G, I count up 2, boom. Where's that A? That's the 9, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? And then I just stack the G here. Right? I lost my spot. Right? Above all powers, above all kings, of all nature and all created things. Da 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 da. Alright, you be here. You were here before the world began. Oh, that's where I was. Crucified. Sorry. Lay behind the stone. There to die, reject, like. That's that 5/7. Alright, don't get confused. This is a C major chord. Stack the G, take out the E, and then I have my C and E. Alright, if you can visualize, that's just the C, E, G. Alright, just spread out. I repeated the C and the G here. I took the E on the bottom, right? Right? So you're just playing around with the arrangement of the notes to sweeten the chord. Sorry, I was on the chorus. I lost my place. Crucified, laid behind a stone. You lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on, right? The ground, right? There's that B flat 6/9 that I explained earlier, right into the 3, which is the 1/3 chord with the add 2, 1, add 2. The 3 I put it on the bottom. You took the fall and thought of me, right? Remember, that's that 6 over the flat 5. C is 5, flat 5. I repeated. I did a little 6. Which is 6 is the same as 13. Just remember that. Above all. Alright, I'm gonna try play a little track here, and let's see if we could play along, and I'll open up some of you who are late beginners. So we've kind of gone over time a little bit, but hopefully some of my tips were helpful to you. If you didn't catch some of those things, you could pause, rewind the video, and you could slow down the speed on your video player and just catch some of the things that were happening. Again, if you want to get access to this diatonic chords playbook, just click on the link, grab my free PDF, and then grab the quick start course, and hopefully it will be of help for you on your gospel piano journey. Peace. Want to learn how to play even more gospel chords without theory overwhelm? Simply download the Top 7 Beginner Gospel Chords PDF by clicking the link in the description. You'll learn about the top 7 must-know gospel chords and how to use them in gospel songs you already know. Again, to get access, hit that link below, and I'll see you on the inside.